Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the FV207. It's the Tier 8 British SPG. It's located on the southwest spawn of Mannheim Line, otherwise known as Arctic Region, and it's under the command of Lost Wall Hacks of the Lost Clan. And I can't see any equipment, but I'm sure he'll let us know what he actually has. More than likely he has a rammer and a gun laying drive. I know I do, and of course, seeing as it's a closed Arty, he more than likely also has a vent because it does improve the rate at which you can reload. Okay, well, this Arty is based on the Conqueror, the A45, and it's got a 152mm 6-inch howitzer as its main armament. It's one of the Artys that was based on the blueprint and never got actually built. Okay, he's ready to go. Set up. Nice position. You notice how it turns as well. The arc is actually quite wide. It's 22 degrees either side of the center line, which means if you turn the vehicle, it quickly dials in on target. And if the target moves quite a bit, you should still be able to get an accurate shot. It's also got a fairly quick reload, 28.76 seconds by the book, and we can see here that in this replay, the fastest reload is 24.76. So he's only seconds away from putting a shell right up that Centurion's rear. Rounds out. Well, it landed short, unfortunately. Now, this is one of two replays we've got featuring Lost Wall Hacks. He sent more than one in. This was one of the early ones he sent in April, and I didn't manage to get around to doing it, but he's actually sent another one since. So you've got two replays to feast featuring the same player. Rounds out. Direct hit, 275. The alpha is 650 from these shells. In fact, actually, he's got the non-stun HE working there, so that's 800 alpha and 48mm of pen with a 4 meters burst radius. So he's being very accurate to get the maximum amount of damage. Okay, there's your target, IS-38. He's out in the open, and just line up the shell on his path. Direct hit, 106. What I usually say to people is expedite what you can see, what's in front of you, but also try and pick a target which your teammates can see so that they can get some stun assist for you. After all, what they want is the ability to get a huge amount of damage on the enemy. If you can stun the enemy, that makes it easier for them. That one seemed to go long, actually. Only the one enemy tank down so far. The Lurva stayed up over that ridgeline too long and got wiped out. We've got a platoon mate in this game as well. He's in Berserker, and he's also in the Lost Clan. So it's useful because you've got two players who know each other, go into the game, both belong to the same clan. They've probably played together before, and that will mean they'll probably have great effect. Another direct hit, 188. Tracked him. Actually spun him round as he got hit. The other good thing about this Arty is it has 48 rounds available, so it can keep firing for all battle long. Rounds out again. Lands short this time. He's still using the non-stun HE, the standard stun. Yes, it's actually 60-50 alpha and 38mm of pen, with a 7.6 meters damage radius and between 12.5 and 25 seconds of stun. 155 off the IS-3. Most of these tanks, because they're not being stunned at all, won't be annoyed by the artillery shells hitting them, because it's no different from a tank shell, really, to be honest. It's only when they start getting hit by stun shells that it really starts annoying. And he got 284 off that one on the Tortoise. Tier 10 game with tier 8 tanks, which means we're bottom tier, which also means that every higher tier tank that we hit, we're getting 10% extra on the XP. Going for the IS-3 again. Rounds out. Oh, he was going for the engine bay, and 223 off that one. That IS-7 looks very tempting target. And in fact, I think he's pushing now. So, yeah, he's going after our XM57, and our teammates saying, get that guy. He's been tracked, but we need to pump rounds into him, and he's down. Now, the 705 is the next one to worry about. And he gets a lovely hit to make him a one-shot. 179. He was also tracked. You saw the IS-3A's also gone down. We're one up on the enemy at the moment. We seem to be holding our own down in the south. There's also a bit of a confrontation going up north as well. And a few tanks who are not doing anything. In fact, we've got one G-Saw, which is one of the medium tanks, now approaching the enemy from a different route. And he's just spotted a Scorpion up on the Mouse. That little stretch of land which you can see at C8. And our G-Saw 1008, which is also the tank destroyer, but the autoloader tank destroyer with 105mm rounds, he's actually on the Duck, which is the opposite corresponding ground. We're going to go for the Z75. We're almost fully dialed in. Rounds out. Looks good. Direct hit. Right on the turret. 340 hit points from that one. So that was a good one. He's still using the non-stun shells. Racked up 1,750 hit points of damage. He's had no stun damage at all yet, but he does have 475 from assist. That's where he's tracked the enemy vehicle, and our teammates have then put a shell into it. Okay, this TL1 LPC, I'm afraid we've got a red line there because the hill that between us and him is just too close. We can't loop the shell over that. The trajectory of the shells will not do it. But let's see if we can put a shell. Oh, he thought the Object 268 would pull back further. It didn't. So he managed to fox him. Artillery players are very good observers of behavior, tank behavior. They can see what tanks are doing, and they watch them, and they can usually tell where they're going to be next, so they can lay a shell down in their path. But just occasionally the tank driver catches us out, and they do something which is completely novel and unusual, and unfortunately we can't spot that, and so they fool us. That Heshbarn is staying very close to that rock. He doesn't want to get hit. And the 705 is pulled back all the way around because he is a one-shot. There's no way he's going to get in direct fire if he can help it. But I think we might be able to get the turret of this Heshbarn. Rounds out. Yes, he does. And he got a pen for 872. So that is a high roll. Yes, because remember, it's 800. So 872, he really did well. Now he needs at least one more like that. The FV's pulled back, so he's in his long reload, 25 seconds or so. He's not going to expose himself during that time, but... Oh! I'm wondering if that was a bit premature, because he thinks that he was going to pull forward the moment that he went unspotted. I think he was probably going to wait. get closer to the reload time. He might be poking out now, but we can't see. We can't be certain. Not many enemy tanks in sight as well. But tanks tend to be a creature of habit. And they tend to stick around the same spots until they actually start getting really punished. And this 268 is still there. Arty is very dependent upon people spotting for them. But of course, if you are spotting for Arty, you're normally picking up the spotting assist, which means it's beneficial to you. And the E75 that got hit on the turret is about to get hit again. Oh, except the shell fell short. RNG wasn't kind and said, no sir, you're not having that one. But we've marked the target. We're telling our teammates that that's the target we're going for. He is now one shot. Oh, we're now going for the Scorpion who repositioned, but you've got the wrong shell. He fired, well, he got 28 of splash, but he got the wrong shell. He should have had the stun assist shell there, or the standard HE. Would have got a bigger splash. He's still loading the non-stun shells, because he does have plenty of them. And this time round, he could actually do some serious damage to that FV207. But again, he aims to one side. RNG puts the shell to one side and doesn't get anything. Well, the E75, oh, the Heshbarn goes. Taken out by the TT-130. 130M. But they've still got that tortoise then. Now he's going to be a little more difficult to destroy. And there's the Object 705. Rounds out. This should hit. Good hill. Looking to the north, we can see that 268 is still there, but the E75 was wiped out. Now he's being pushed back, so he's falling back. He's a one shot, he's gone. Now we've got to deal with this Scorpion, but the best way to deal with him would be to actually use the stun shells, not the non-stun. He's trying to get the turret, which is very difficult, but the Scorpion goes down, and that was a potential Confederate. There's only 2 enemy tanks remaining now. A GeForce 1006-7, that's the fast tank, the fast medium, and of course the M40, M43 on the enemy team. And we don't know where they are, but looking at... oh, there's the Jigsaw. He's fighting a rear guard action, being chased by a 277. And now, can we get a shell on this guy? Rounds out. Long fight time. No, unfortunately, we just got a critical hit, and he goes down. And now it's just the M40, M43. And he is up in the corner. And he dies very quickly. And that's the end of the game. Here's the end of battle stats. And that was a first class tank of the Lost Wall Hacks of the Lost Clan in the FV207. He also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 10 in that one. And he also got a Confederate hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, we can see in this one that he didn't get the highest damage. That, in fact, went to the TT-130M, who got 4,693 hit points. Second highest was the CS-63, who got 3,119. And the third highest damage, well, he was just beaten by that M40, M43 on the enemy team, who managed to get 2,796, beating Lost Wall Hacks into 4th place with 2,782. Not much between them. When it came to kills, we can see top scorer was that TT-130M again. He got 3 kills. 2 kills went to the Death Star, the FV215B183, and the CS63, and the GeForce 1008. And on the enemy team, their Scorpion managed to get 2 kills as well. And we can see that Lost War Hacks only got the 1 kill, but that puts him alongside everyone else in third place? Third place. Okay, when it came to base XP, we can see again, it's that TT130M. He managed to get the top in all 3 columns. 1,309 hit points means he's the only one who managed to experience points. The only one to get over 1,000 base in this game. 971 went to the XM57 and 956 went to the Object 277. We can see Lost War Hacks got 921, which puts him a little way down the table. In fact, in 5th place, but that's not so bad because it is still very high. He fired 24 rounds. That's one of the good things about this Arty. It does have a 6-inch gun, which is fast reloading. And so therefore you can get a lot of rounds out if battle lasts for the usual length of time. 9 direct hits on the enemy, 1 penetrating shot, which of course was the Heshbarn. He managed to get that one through the turret. 16 splashes, 2,782 hit points of damage, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 1, so there's the Confederate. And he got 475 hit points of damage assistance, where he actually tracked a vehicle and then his teammates got damage. But of course, he didn't use any stun shells in that game. He only used the non-stun HE, and that's why there's no stun assist. When it came to credits, he actually made 7,313 credits on a premium count, and he also picked up 5,735 experience points on that one as well. So first game, not a bad result. Only a first class though on this one. He could have actually had an ace tanker if he'd used some of the stun assist shells at some points during the battle. And I think he probably would have got more kills because I think he probably would have hit the Scorpion when he was hiding behind that rock. Because if you use a shell with a larger blast radius, it's likely to catch it if the shell's aimed at the spot right next door to the rock. So it actually catches the guy from behind. And of course, he could have done the same with the Heshbarn. So, first replay over. Now let's have a look at the second replay. The second battle is on the Malinovka map and it's on the South Spawn. Okay, this battle is all tier 8. So you're not going to get any advantage for hitting a higher tier opponent, but at least we know the capabilities of the enemy vehicles. You can see that turret actually moves around quite nicely, but oh, he knocked a tree down there at the end. And the unfortunate thing about that is that might give the clue to the enemy exactly where we are. Looks like the enemy Arty is busy because he just fired at an Ergal that was not so far away from us. But he might have seen our tree drop. Fires the round in. Oh, gets a direct hit with his first shot. And he is using the stun shells straight away from this one. 247 hit points against the Barask. An important target. One of their priority targets. Almost loaded. Gonna go for the Skoda, I think. Rounds out. Well, he got stunned. Okay, he's marked the target, said the Star 2 is the one I'm going for. But he changes his target. Instead, you can see a Project Iron. Where it goes for that one. Unfortunately, the shell appeared to go long and explode behind him. Now, our guys aren't at the top of the top of the hill yet, but you can see the Skoda's decided to go to the low level, and so's the Project Iron. But we've lost sight of them, and there is an event going on. So we're going to see some action. Well, that's a direct hit on, or near miss rather, on the Skoda. These guys are taking damage from our tanks, who are now up on the hill and able to get shots on them. Okay, go for it. Rounds out. Land short, well short. Oh, the game's not being cooperative now. That was so short. It's two Arty on our team, and SU-14-2, the school bus, is the other one. That is a Nurgle. Unusual name for a tank. Rounds out. Direct hit right on the Nurgle for 202. He's using the non-stun shells now. So his damage will probably go up, but his stun assist will probably remain the same. 0. Rounds out. There was a slight reticule flicker as he fired, and I suspect that's what caused the shell to deviate. Occasionally, your reticule, you get on a target and you're trying to aim at it, and your reticule will bounce around quite a bit, but if it just flitters or moves at the last moment just before you fire, sometimes the shell will miss the target. That didn't. That hit the Skoda for 285, but the good news is, because he's using the right shell... Oh! Well, he has got some stun assist now. Unfortunately, he's lost his chance to get the high caliber, because unfortunately he did damage that 7032 whilst, or rather would have damaged him if there was team damage in the game. But because he actually did catch the guy within the blast radius, he will be disqualified from getting a high caliber. The SU-14-2 firing those rounds. In fact, actually, he's trying to get what appears to be a tank destroyer over here. That's what it is. It's a Grom. And that Star 2 again. Rounds out. Looks good. 312 hit points from a stun shell. Unfortunately, looks like our Ram Panzer hasn't managed to get... Oh, he did! That's good. We got some assists there. Well, we got the stun on the Grom again. And we're getting stun assist. Okay, this enemy Nurgle is coming almost our way. Not quite. And we've lost the Ram Panzer. But they lost their Star 2 and their Grom. Oh, what a shot there! Destroyed the Nurgle as he was going down the ramp. Okay. Chariots here over the other side of the battlefield. Now, better to lead the target when he's backing up like that. Now, these guys are going up the hill to try and find that Barask. I think that Barask is probably going to be coming down. In fact, we've got an AMX M445. We're dialing in, but have we got the right show? Yes, we have. It goes long, but it stuns him. Here's a one-shot. If he shows his face, he will get taken out by our teammates. There's the enemy Barask. We're one down on the enemy at the moment. Now, we can splash kill this guy or land a shell on his turret. No, no need to. Our Scorpion got him. We're still one down on the enemy because our attack force that went across the battlefield, across the field area near the caps, got wiped out. As far as we can work out, the Borsig is behind that rock, but we're saving the shell for the moment. Now that Barask is somewhere near the lake. There's still 5 enemy tanks out there. They've got 2 Arty, 2 mediums, and 1 tank destroyer. And here's the Barask, one of the mediums. Oh, it landed short, and it announces to the Barask we're here. He's going to come looking for us. And there he is. Now, we're almost loaded. Well, that certainly did some damage. And the other Arty, the SU-14-2, gets the kill. And that evens the score. Now it's 2 Arty versus 2 Arty. And 2 tank destroyers versus 1 tank destroyer and a medium versus another tank destroyer and a medium. So we're completely even after all that time. But the enemy has less hit points. Now apparently they've got a Barask and a Borsig. We've got a Barask and a Scorpion. I think that gives us the advantage. Especially since that Borsig was involved in a fracas on the other side of the battlefield, has lost some hit points. Our Scorpion has about the same amount of hit points, but well, the enemy Barask is not where he was last seen. He was definitely up the hill last time. And our Barask is moving through. He's probably going to find the enemy Arty very shortly. An FV207 and an SU-14-2. In fact, they're both targeting him. Both Artys are targeting him. So they must know where he is. He's somewhere. There's somewhere in there. Well, where is he? There's the Barask. Line him up. Rounds out. Well, we got some damage, 127. He's using the stun shells now to make sure. And it looks like both enemy Artys have managed to make it across the water. They're on the other side. Barask is turning around to deal with his teammate. His opposite number, rather. Okay, can we hit this guy? He's seconds away from loading. Line up. Rounds out. Oh, good shots! Perfect. I thought for a second he laid the shell ahead of his path and he drove into it and he took the shell, wiped him out, and that gives us a solid advantage now. Borsigs are very slow and they have no armor whatsoever, so they get hit by a shell, they're going to pay. But it also looks like the enemy have moved. There's the Borsig. Okay, now we need to quickly turn. Oh, we lost the Barask. We're only going to get one chance to get the Borsig. Rounds out. Unfortunately, we got some stun, but the Scorpion is coming down the hill. Okay, so we're going to move across and try and help the Scorpion. The enemy's capping, so it's the Arty that's capping at the moment. The Borsig is trying to protect his cap area. Now we need to face that Borsig, and the Scorpion just took a hit, but the Borsig went down, and now it's Arty left. And we can see they're firing at our Scorpion. They just missed him, narrowly missed him. But we're going to try and get closer so we can see him. The school bus, the SU-14-2, is very slow, so he's not going to be able to get there very quickly. This Arty has a view range of 265 meters, and we found one of them straight away. It's the opposite number, the FV207. We're dialing in, going to catch the defender's points. Oh, he wiped him out! One shot, penetrated for 430. Now, where is the other Arty, the SU-14-2? We're telling the Scorpion to cap. Surely he must be near the cap area. He must be taking his time to get down here. We've got the 2-minute warning. The Scorpion is in the cap, just in case. Well, it's an exciting battle because for much of the battle we've been behind and now we're finally ahead 3-1. If only we can find the SU-14-2, we can win and get the bonus. Lost War Hacks and the SU-14-2 could platoon together. In fact, he's offered to, but the SU-14-2 is not accepting. So we're not going to get a brothers in arms, but it would have been nice. We can't see any traces. Oh! That was a shell coming in, I think, or something knocked over something that was nearby the Scorpion, but it wasn't him. We've capped out, so it is a victory, but not a total victory. This time round, he only got the Bruiser Medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 10 in this one, but at least it was a victory overall. And he did get some kills. Let's have a look at team score. Well, we can see he didn't get the highest damage in this one. That actually went to the... get that back right. There you go. It went to the Barask on the enemy team, who got 2,914 hit points. And that guy got a 5 for effect. Second highest damage was the Batchat Barask on our team with 2,545. And the third highest damage, well, that was Lost War Hacks with 2,236. When it came to kills, we can see top scorer was, in fact, the Scorpion on our team, along with Lost War Hacks and the SU-14-2. All managed to get 3 kills, and also the Borsig on the enemy team got 3 kills. And when it came to base XP, we can see top scorer was Lost War Hacks in this one. He got 997, just a short way from the 1,000 mark. And the second highest was the Barask with 879, followed by the Scorpion with 795 in third. You can see Lost War Hacks fired 19 rounds in this game. He got 5 direct hits and 1 penetration and 18 splashes. 2,236 hit points of damage, of which 1,806 were at more than 300 meters. So there was some close range damage as well. 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 6 enemy vehicles damaged, 3 killed, and he got 192 hit points of damage assistance, plus 983 hit points of stun assist of 12 stun. So at least he got some stun in this game. He also managed to get 54 defense points when he reset the cap on the FV207. I think he would have liked to get a defender medal if he'd actually left it just a little while longer. I'm pretty sure the SU-14-2 would have snapped that shot in to kill the FV207. So I think he did it when he did because he needed to get that get the cap cancelled. And so he wasn't going to leave that guy spotted for very long. On the credits side, he actually made 76,306 credits profit from that game on a premium count, and he got 5,984 experience points, including a missions payout on that one as well. So very, very nicely played. Again, I think he's getting first classes because he's not using stun all the time. If you use the stun assist and your teammates then get the stun assist for you, or rather they fire on tanks which are stunned, there's a good chance you might get an ace tanker, because it's all about trying to get as much assistance for your team. So yes, I tend to use a lot of the stun shells myself. In fact, I rarely carry any of the extra or no stun HE because it just doesn't generate as much in the way of credits and masteries. But he did very well in this game, and well, I hope he continues to do it. Hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, and thank you for watching.